One second. I see the resistor. Okay, let me share this. So I have an issue. It's slow back. Okay, let me create two fields known as category and subcategory quickly. Real quick. Just both are unfortunately choice fields. Strong. I don't know, due to some reason the category field was not getting added. Let me just check it quickly. Just give me what you just one second. Let me share my screen back. Yeah, let's go to child batches. Let me open mini record. So we have two fields actually, category and subcategory. So I created three choices in the category field, that is software, hardware, and network. But in the subcategory, we don't have any choices. Let's say, for example, in the category, if I select software, I need to add two choices automatically depending on the like how we added the state and city. Let's say, for example, here I'm selecting Andhra Pradesh. You can see Vizag and Vijayawada. When I select Telangana, you can see Hyderabad and Warangal. When I select Karnataka, you can see Bangalore and Mysore. In the similar way, we have category which was created already, software, hardware, and network, and we have subcategory here. So no matter what you select, it won't be appear because we didn't establish the dependency normally. Normally, what we do, we create a dependency between these two fields and we'll create the choices. This is what we learned. But what we are going to do in this exercise is like depending on the selection of the category, subcategory should populate, not using the dependency concept that we learned, but using the client scripts. So we are going to add the choices using client scripts. Let's say, for example, when I select the choice as software, automatically two software choices should appear in the subcategory. Let's say the moment I select software, it should give two choices. So this is the scenario. And let's say when I select hardware, it should also give two choices to me. When I select, let's say, network, it should also give me two choices here. So this is what we are trying to do. Let's see how can we achieve using a client script. So we have our methods actually. Let's first decide on the choices. Let's say, for example, when I select software, I need two choices. Hardware, I need two choices. Network, I need two choices. Hardware, let's keep it as a CPU, comma mouse. Network, we can keep it as a router, comma switch. Software, we can keep it as, let's say, what else we can keep? We can keep something like let's keep it. Yeah, just don't focus on the choices, but just focus on the concept. So here, what we did here in the same way, depending on the state, we need to populate the city. We already did it using the dependency concept. In the same way, we are going to achieve this depending on the category. Whatever category I select, the subcategory should populate. But this time, we are not going to do it using the dependency concept. We are going to do it using the scripting. So let's say when the user selects the category on the software, subcategory should populate with Adobe and Windows. When a user selects hardware in the category, subcategory should populate with CPU and mouse. When the user selects the network, subcategory should populate as a router and switch. So for this, we are going to use, it do make sense to use on change client script because on change of the category field, you want to populate these choices actually. So what I can do, I can go to the client scripts. Let me go to client scripts. Under system definition, let's go to client scripts. Let's click on new. So out of onload, on change, and on submit and on selected client scripts, we are going to focus on the on change. Reason, according to the scenario, if you see here also, it do make sense. When the state is selected as Andhra Pradesh, I need Vizag and Vijayawada to populate it. When the state is selected as Telangana, I need Hyderabad and Warangal to be populated. When the state is selected as Karnataka, I need Bangalore and Mysore to be populated. You don't know how to add the choices, that's secondary. But what type of client script are you going to choose is important. So here also, when the state is selected as software, I need two choices to be populated here. So it is on change of the category. Whenever I change the category to software, I need subcategory values to be populated. Whenever I change the value of category to hardware, I need two subcategory choices to populate. In the same way, whenever I change the category to network, I again two choices to be populated. So this is what I'm expecting. So it will be on change client script on change of category field, because on change of category to software, I need two choices to be populated. So let's add choices, something like this. Giving the table as let's say child batches in this case. Giving the type as on change, and on change of category field, I want to populate these things. So let's give the category. So coming to the code, so let's say for example, here first this script will run on the child batches table. When you are in the child batches table, on change of category field, whenever you are trying to change this category field, software or hardware or network or not, then only this code will run actually. So here what we are going to plan, let's say if the user selects software, I need to populate Adobe and Windows in the subcategory. Simple. So how can I check if the user selected the software or not? I can directly check using if, let's say, g underscore form dot get value. Get value will give me the value of the field actually. So let's say the value of category. So this will give me the value of the category. Whatever g underscore form dot get value of category will give me the value of the category actually. Whatever value we have selected. So let's see the value of the software. It's software only. The backend value of the software. I mean, when you right click on this, go to configure dictionary, you'll get the value. It's a label. We should not see the label. We should rather see the value. So it's the value of the software is software only, hardware is hardware only, network is network only, including with the same as the label. So I can check on change of category field whenever the category is changing. That can be anything, and it will give me the value of the category. Whatever value the category field is holding, it will give me that value. If it is equal to let's say software. So whenever you change the value of the category, let's imagine it is none. So this client script will run whenever you change the value of the category. Let's say if that value is selected as software. So what does this mean? G underscore form dot get value of category. It will give me the value of the category field. What is the value of the category field in this case? Software. If it is equal to software, if it is selected as software, then I want to add two choices to this subcategory field, that is Adobe and Windows. How can I add the choices in the subcategory field? There is a method, that is g underscore form dot add option. We can use add option, g underscore form dot add option. So what it will accept, in which field you want to add the choice. Add option is nothing but a syntax to add the choice in a field. In which field you want to add the choice, what is the value of the choice, what is the label of the choice. For example, whenever you're trying to add the choices, okay, if you remember, we added 4 choices here. Okay, if I right click on this, go to configure dictionary, we have choice value and choice label. See, this is the choice label, this is the choice value. So here also, this g underscore form dot add option is a syntax that is to add the choices. So here also you need to give under which field you want to add the choice, comma what is the choice value, comma what is the choice label. Choice value and choice label, I already told you. Choice value means what system will understand. Choice label is what you want to see. So I want to add a choice. If the category is selected as, it will run on change of the category. If that category value is selected as software, I want to add a choice on the subcategory. So let's get the value of the subcategory. That is u underscore sub underscore category, comma choice value. The next parameter is choice value. It can be anything. I'm giving it as 1. Okay, which will be understood by the system. Choice label. Choice label is nothing but what you will see. So I'll just give it as error as we decided to go for error. So this will add a choice actually. So what we are trying to do on change of the category, whenever we are changing the category field, this code will run and we are checking if the category is selected as software, whatever value the user selected is, if it is software, it will give the value of the category. And if it is equal to software, then you are entering into this loop, you are adding a dot. Let's add one more choice that is like Windows or something like that. Let's add it. If I save it now, if I go here and if I refresh the page, always you should refresh the page when it comes to the client side. So let's say if I'm giving it as a hardware, you don't see anything because I change the value of the. See, whenever I change this category field value, I'm changing it to network. Whenever I change this category field value, this client script will run on the child batches because it is on change client script, on change of category it will run. See, I'm changing it to hardware. This client script will run, but you're not telling anything in the code. This code will run whenever you change the value of the category. That is fine. But you're not telling anything in this code for the hardware choice. Nothing. You're telling because it will come here g underscore form dot get value of category. What is the value of the category? That is hardware. Is hardware equal to software? No, it's not equal. So it will not enter into this loop. It won't do anything. But let's imagine we are changing it to software. When I change it to software, I change the value of the category. So whenever you change the value of the category field, it will come here. It is checking g underscore form dot get value of category. What is the value of category? That is software. Is software equal to software? Yes, it will return true. It will enter into this braces. It will add these two choices, Adobe and Windows to the subcategory. Adobe and Windows. This we did it using code, not using the dependency concept. If I select it as hardware, you don't see anything. Of course, we added. I'll tell you this concept. Yeah. If I select it as hardware, also you can see those choices. I'll tell you why. So in the same way, I want to add it for you know hardware and network also. But if I use else concept here, what happens? If I select software, these two choices will be added. That's fine. But let's say if I select hardware also, it will go to the else only. If I select network also, it will go to the else only. So which is wrong? We should not use else concept here because if else, whenever you have two conditions, then you can go for if else. Let's say if I have only software and hardware, I can go for if else. But in this case, unfortunately, I'm having three conditions or more than two conditions. So I should not go for else. Reason, if it is software, it will enter into this loop and it will add these two choices, Adobe and Windows. Okay, which is expected, which is good. But what if it is hardware or network? In both the cases, it will go to the else. So we have a concept known as else if. If I already told you on the day giving some examples, but just telling you again. We need to use else if because you have more than one condition. How this else if will work? If this if is returning true, it will enter into this. If it is not returning true, then only it will come here and it will check the else if condition. Let's copy the same line again. Paste it. Else if the value of the category is selected as, let's say, hardware, not software, hardware. Yeah, the choice value of hardware is also hardware. Let's add it as hardware. Then I want to add two choices again. Let me copy these two lines. Let's paste it here. So instead of we decided two choices, what are they? CPU and mouse. Let's add them. Yeah, but here there is an issue. I'll tell you what is it. Before we go to the network choice also, there will be an issue here. Let's try to see what is the issue here. Let's go here, refresh the page. Please pay attention here. Okay. Now, This code will run whenever you change the value of this category that we understood. Let me try to change the value of the category to, let's say, network. Nothing will happen because we didn't configure anything for the network. So it won't, when I select network, this category value changed. So it will come here, it will check get value of category. What is the value of category? That is network. Is network equal to software? No, it will return false. It will go to else if. Again, get value of category, that is network. Is network equal to hardware? No, again, it will return false. It won't enter into this loop. So let's select it as software now. Pay attention. When I select it as software, it will come here. I change the value of the category, so it will come into this code. Get value of category. What is the value of category? Software. Is software equal to software? Yes, it will return true. Then it is adding Adobe and Windows to subcategory. Please pay attention. I'm writing down here. For subcategory, it is adding Adobe and Windows to subcategory. When I select the category as software, it is adding Adobe and Windows to subcategory. Adobe and Windows got added to subcategory. When I select the value as software, now I'm changing it to hardware. Remember, already in subcategory we have Adobe and Windows. Now I'm changing it to hardware. The moment I change it to hardware, what happens? Again, this client script will run from the beginning because I change the value. Whenever you change the value, this code will run from the beginning. It will come here, get value of category. What is the value of category? Hardware. Is hardware equal to software? No. It will come here. Again, get value of category. What is the value of category again? It's hardware. Is hardware equal to hardware? Yes. Hardware equal to hardware? Yes. But we already added Adobe and Windows in the subcategory. With that, it will add CPU and mouse also. So you will see 4 options, unfortunately here, not 2 options. Because the moment you select, but the expected behavior is I should see only CPU and mouse. I don't know how many of you understood this, but I can explain it again if you want. Let me just refresh the page. Pay attention, at least this time you pay attention. So what is happening? Whenever you change the category field value, this code will run from the beginning. Okay. First, I'm changing the category to software. When I change the value of the category to software, these 2 choices are getting added in the subcategory. Adobe and Windows are getting added in the subcategory. Adobe got added, Windows got added in the subcategory. We added it. Again, I'm changing the value to hardware. When I change the value to hardware, we didn't told the system here to remove this Adobe and Windows in the subcategory. Already, when I change the value to software edition, in the earlier stage, we added Adobe and Windows. Choices to the subcategory. Okay. With that, you're also adding CPU and mouse because you didn't told the system to remove Adobe and Windows here. So how system will understand to remove Adobe and Windows? It won't understand until you say. Already in subcategory Adobe and Windows. So for that, what we need to do? We need to clear the options. So how can we clear the options? We need to remove these Adobe and Windows here in the subcategory. How can I remove those options? You can add g underscore form dot. There is a method as clear options. You can use the clear options, or you have a remove option also. You can use that, but it will remove one by one. So in which field you want to clear the options? I want to clear it on the subcategory. You underscore subcategory. You need to copy the same syntax, paste it here also, because it's not necessary. I'll tell you. If you need to use this g underscore form dot clear options everywhere, not only here. Reason, let's say in this case I'm giving it only on the hardware. Pay attention. Let me refresh the page. Now I'm changing the value to software. When I change the value to software, of course Adobe and Windows is getting added. You can see I changed the value of the category to software. You see Adobe and Windows got added. In the subcategory we have Adobe and Windows. Now I'll change it to hardware. When I change it to hardware, okay, Adobe and Windows was there in the subcategory. It cleared the subcategory choices. What these clear options will do? Whatever choices this subcategory is having, it will remove all the choices. irrespective of what it is, it will remove all the choices. Whatever subcategory clear options is a method that will remove every choice that field is holding. It is removing all the choices, which is none, Adobe and Windows. Unfortunately, it will remove none also. It will remove, including none is also a choice, it will remove none also. So in the subcategory, we used to have Adobe and Windows. We removed none, Adobe and Windows, and we are adding only CPU and mouse here, which is working fine. But it's not necessary every time the end user will select this category as software first and they'll go to hardware next. It's not like that. Let's say, what if the user is selecting hardware first? The user selected hardware first. User selected hardware first. Then you can see CPU and mouse got added here. We can also add the none choice and show you how to add it. Now the user is changing it to software. See? So here also you need to add that clear, g underscore form dot clear options. Here also you need to add, but unfortunately g underscore form dot clear options will remove the none choice. So what we can do, we can add a none choice using g underscore form dot add up. What this clear options is doing, it is removing every choice that field is having, including none. Let's see if I refresh the page again. This none will also be removed. See, I'll change it to hardware. It is removing none, whatever values it is having, and it is removing everything actually. Okay. So I can add the none choice using g underscore form dot add option. Add option in the subcategory field. None will not have a value, so leave it as empty. None. How none will look like? It will look something like this. Let's just save the form. Now let's try to visualize what we are doing here. Okay. I'll change the value to network. Whenever I change this category field, every time you change the value of the category field, this unchanged line script will run here. It is coming here, it is checking g underscore form dot get value of category. What is the value of category? That is network. Is network equal to software? No, it won't enter into this loop. Again, it will go here. Else if this is not satisfied, it will come here. G underscore form dot get value of category. What is the value of category? Network. Is network equal to hardware? No, it won't enter into this loop. Now let me change it to software. When I change it to software, what is happening? Again, this code will run from the beginning. It will come here, get value of category. What is the value of category? That is software. Is software equal to software? Yes. This condition got satisfied. It will return true. It will enter into this loop. It is clearing every option that subcategory is having. Whatever options the subcategory is having, whatever choices the subcategory is having, this clear option will remove every choice. And we are adding what? We are removing every choice and we are adding three options, that is none, Adobe and Windows. None, Adobe and Windows. You can see. None, Adobe Windows got added from the code. Now I'm changing it to hardware. Remember in subcategory, already we have none, Adobe and Windows. You need to remember this. None is there, Adobe is there, Windows is there. I'm changing it to hardware. The moment I change it to hardware, again in the subcategory we have none, Adobe and Windows. The moment I change it to hardware, again this code will run from the beginning. It will come here. Get value of category. What is the value of category? Hardware. Is hardware equal to software? No. It will come here. Get value of category, that is hardware. Hardware equal to hardware? Yes. So already subcategory is having none, Adobe and Windows. It will remove every option. It will remove none, it will remove Adobe, it will remove Windows. Three options are done. Now it is adding none, CPU, mouse. That's how it is working. Now you can add the same thing for this thing also. For the network also, you can do the same thing. I can simply copy these lines. Let's simply paste it here. I can name it as network. See the value of the network quickly. We're having router and switch. If I go here, refresh the page. Of course, we need to remove the easy loading, that's different thing. Now you see, I select network directly. When I select network, what happens? I change the value of the category, it will come here, it will check here. Value of the category, get value of category, that is network. Is network equal to software? No, it will return false. It will come here. Since it is returning false, it will come here. Get value of category. Is network equal to hardware? No, it will also return false. Then it will come here. Is network equal to network? Yes. Then it will remove every option that subcategory is having. It will remove. Then it is going to add none, router, switch. All three choices will be added automatically. You see, none got added, router got added, switch got added. Now I'm changing it to software. In subcategory, already none is there, router is there, switch is there. Nobody is going to remove it. It will be there. You need to remove using code. In subcategory, when we select the category as network, we have none, router, switch. Again, I change the value of software, value of the category. It will come from the beginning. It will come here. Value of the category, that is software. Is software equal to software? Yes. So already in subcategory we have none, router, switch. It will remove all these three choices. It will add none, adopt Windows. So in this way we can add the choices actually. If you want, you can also add the choices for the category also. It depends on you. But normally we won't prefer this method. We'll go for this method only, this approach only. Like what we did in configuration without coding, we'll go for this approach only. But when you will go for this method, in the catalog items, you will go for this method. Because in the catalog items, you don't have a dependency concept. So normally we'll go for a dependency concept only. You won't write a code. 99% of the times you won't write the code for doing this scenario. You should go for the dependency concept. So you can also, anyone having any doubts here? Or is this code clear for you? I can also send it to you in the chat. If you have any doubts, we can discuss. Okay, I see the whole code in came. Okay, anyone having any doubts here? No. Yes. Are you having doubts or not? Sorry? Okay, we can also improvise this code. If you pay attention, this code actually no need to write these many. You can save 4 lines of code actually. Yeah, it's not needed. So what is that improvisation we need to do actually normally? If you see in all these if, else if, and else if. So when you select the category as software or a hardware or network, we are adding 2 lines extra. There are 2 lines that are common in every if, and else if. I mean, no matter whether you select software or you select hardware or you select network, there are 2 lines that are common. What are they? Clear options, add option. These 2 lines are common in every if else. So what you can do? See, it really doesn't matter whether these 2 lines should execute only. Whether you select software also it should execute, or you select hardware it should execute, or you select network it should execute. So these 2 lines should execute for sure, no matter what you select. So what you can do, you can remove these 2 lines from every if else. You can keep it on top because these should execute for sure, whether you select. So whenever you keep it on top, it will execute for hardware also, software also, and network also. So it's really not needed to add these 2 lines here like this. Let me just show you. So in this way, you can save the lines of the code actually. Let me just show you. Let me tell you the execution now, how it will work. So initially we used to add these 2 lines. So it's same actually. Whether you add these 2 lines in the software, hardware, and network, or you add it on top, it's same because Every time it is getting executed. Whether you select software also it is getting executed. Whether you select hardware also it is getting executed. Whether you select network also it is getting executed. So whenever you see something in common in all the conditions, you can keep it on top. How it will work now, I'll tell you. Let's say, for example, I'm selecting the category as software. The moment I select the category as software, it will come here. The code will come here. It is on changer. Client script, it will come here directly. It will clear all the values of the subcategory. Whatever choices it is having, it will remove all the choices. It will add only none to the subcategory. It added only none. Now, it will enter into this if condition, value of the category. What is the value of the category? That is software. Is software equal to software? Yes. So it will add Adobe and Windows. With none, it will add Adobe and Windows. Because you already added none here. With that, it is adding Adobe and Windows. Now I'm changing the value of software to hardware. Remember, in the subcategory, we have none Adobe and Windows. Nobody is going to remove these values. You should remove it. System is not an AI, or even though it's an AI, it won't work like that. You need to remember this. Nobody is going to remove these choices. Now I'm changing it to hardware. When I change it to hardware, the subcategory is already having none Adobe and Windows. When I change it to hardware, again it will come here because I change the value. It will execute this line. Clear options. It will remove all the subcategory choices. It will add none. Which is in subcategory we already have none Adobe and Windows. It will remove everything. It will add only none. Now it is coming here. Value of category. Selected as hardware. Is hardware equal to software? No. Is hardware equal to hardware? Yes. Now in the subcategory, now in the subcategory field we have only none choice. With that none, it will add CPU inputs. That's how it will work. In this way also, we can reduce the lines of the code. Still, you can improvise this code. How? Because you can still see there is a syntax that is getting common in all the three lines, in all the three things. What is the syntax which is common? G underscore form dot get value of category. This is common here, here, here also. So whenever you see some syntax is common and you're using it most of the times, you can take a variable var, let's say category equal to. Whenever I see we can use it most number of times, you can take a variable. You can simply use this variable category. You can remove this line. Use the category summary. See, in this way, you can improvise the code actually. So it's a small things, but you can improvise it in such a way. So people will look for these also. Normally, it's like there is a difference when you're writing a code and code you can write it in the same code you can write it in 50 lines. The same code you can write it in 20 lines. If you go for switch case, it will be still decreased a lot, and the performance will be more increased. But for you, switch case is not needed. You can go for if else only, if else if only, because it is also important that everyone should understand the code. It's not only that. Yeah, better to write it in a simple terminology. But if you want to reduce these kind of things, you can do it. So this is how we do it normally. Anyone having any doubts here? Yes, no. Okay. If you have any doubts, we can discuss, or else we are done with the class. From tomorrow session will take. Normally from today only should take, but he's not available today, so he told me to take. So I thought choice fields are anyway. You guys also can, but there is a choice things that we forgot to explain you. So that's the reason I taken the class today. If you have any doubts, not only in this, the whole concepts, if you have any doubts, you can discuss. Let me know if anyone have any doubts, or else we can wrap up this. This is the dependency, sir. Hmm. didn't understood what you mean. Can you give me an example, please? This is the dependency concept, actually. Yeah. Hmm. No, that is a concept known as glide ajax that will be covered in the last of your class. That will be covered by Shashank, not by me. There is a concept known as glide ajax, which will be little different or difficult. I would say not difficult. It will be a little. The syntax will be little big. I understood what you mean. It's not dependency. Don't call it as dependency. If the department is IT, then you need to. It's not like that. Let's say whenever you change the value of the trainee, you want to, let's say, I want to populate this user email address, or let's say manage your department everything in this form. That you can do it. Or depending on this department, you want to populate some fields or hide some fields. That you can do it. But that concept is not done yet. I mean, it will be client script is not completed. There is one more thing known as glide ajax that will be covered in the end, because that glide ajax requires the server side code also. Again, I'll be coming back to explain you the business rules and workflow. But in the meanwhile, Shashank will explain SLAs, uh, catalog items, notifications, record producers, order guides, these concepts. Once that is completed, I'll be coming back to explain you the workflow and catalog items. Still, the training is there. It's not completed yet. It will take time. Any other doubts, anyone? Okay. In that case, from tomorrow, Shashank will continue the classes and will inform you. You have a different group, different link, not this link. You can join that. Okay. Thank you all. Bye.